Greetings to you all, and welcome to this top-down analysis. All right, so we're going to be looking at a couple of currency pairs today. We're going to start with the dollar index to understand its strength, and then we're going to correlate it with Euro USD, GBP USD, in fact, every other pair that has to do with the dollar index. All right, so first, let's look at the dollar index now. If you look here, you notice that last week price traded down, raiding the lows of this small accumulation here, and we had a nice rejection back, closing above this low that was raided last week. All right, now this doesn't just mean price will start pushing back up, but it is a sign. All right, it is a sign that there's a possible pullback to start. Right, for us to start having a pullback. But now there is something I want to draw your attention to here. If you look closely here, you will notice that we have something right here which is very important on the weekly time frame. Now, if you look at my cross right here, you will notice that we have a candle here that has no wick, right? And we also have a fair value gap at that particular point. So at this point now, this is going to be like our that's going to be a zone where price will want to trade down to. All right, it's going to be this area is going to be pulling price towards it. Now what we're going to do here is that's going to be our drawn liquidity based on the weekly time frame, but we're going to step down to the daily also to see if that's going to be possible. All right, but for now, this is a very strong key level for us to expect price to trade down to. All right, so it is a fair value gap, and also it's a no wick candle zone. Right, so if we say it's a no wick candle, then plus an average, right? So it's a strong zone. It's a strong zone. We can expect price to trade down to, and also this low that has just been taken out, we could possibly say that now it's going to be like an inducement into that fair value gap right there. Okay, so let's look at what we have right here now. Now, despite the fact that weekly candle, the previous week took out this low, we still had to close heavily bearish. Not that we closed heavily bearish again. So this still symbolizes a lot of bearishness, and we're targeting price to trade down to this no wick candle right here. All right, so let's go now to the daily and see if there is a possible internal range liquidity within previous week's candle that price might trade back to before dropping to the key level we just pointed towards to our drawn liquidity. All right, now looking at this particular daily time frame, we can also see price is massively bearish. We actually even closed below this low. So now looking at this point, what we can see here is price took out this candle's high. All right, we took out that high, and we took out this candle's high, and then price probably closed below it. This is a very nice zone for us to use as our order block. Okay, and then plus it has a fair value gap, slightly volume gap that we saw price reacting from on the Friday. So looking at this zone, I will want to say that this is a fair value gap here, and we can use the high of Friday to be like kind of an inducement to that fair value gap and this other block. So basically, if you're someone that is a swing trader, you will want to engage directly from that other block, maybe with your stops above that high, and then you target this zone that we marked out. This is going to be like a 3.15 risk to reward ratio trade if you want to take that. But then it's the stop loss is going to be white since it's the daily chart, something like that. This means we're waiting for price at least pull up somewhere, and then we trade back down to this important key level that we just marked out. All right, now also how price trades into this other block is very important. You have to note that. And now if price trades into this key level and then closes back below this candle, this is possibly going to become a new CRT. All right, and also I know some of you are already seeing this one to be a CRT, but I don't want to consider it to be a CRT even though price taken the high. because why? We did not fully tap in. We did not actually tap into the other block that we have right here. So I'm not very convinced about it. All right. If we would have tapped into this other block with this candle, then we could consider that this is a CRT. But then for now, we'll still have this other block, this key level plus even this 5 hour gap. So which means price taps in, takes Friday's high, and then into the other block, closes back below it. It will give that to be some signs for CRT. Okay, so let's see 4 hour time frame. All right, so on the 4 hour, we are heavily bearish this morning. The market is pushing heavily to the downside. And just around where we have the other block, we have a 4 hour fair value gap, which has not been filled yet. So that makes sense for us. There's a possibility price might want to pull up to that zone before we can see more sales. Also note that this is the FOMC week, so we can see there will be a lot of volatility in the market. All right. So basically on the 4 hour time frame, maybe if we have price rejecting up from this indication here, back up to that fair value gap, and from there we continue to see some sales, I will be very, very happy. All right, that would be a nice setup. That would be a nice setup. So let's look at Euro USD. I think that's okay for DXY. So let's see what is happening with Euro USD. Now, on the weekly basis, also take note, we have a fair value gap here on Euro USD. Plus, we have an other block as well there, and that can be our drawn liquidity on Euro USD. So Euro USD, we have an area we can say it's our draw on liquidity. So now on the weekly, we also close heavily bullish. Going back to the daily time frame as well, we have our fair value gap too there. Okay, we had an inside bar. This particular Friday did not take the high or low of Euro USD. Take note, it took the high of Friday on DXY, but here we did not take the low. So that could be a possible SMT for price to continue higher. But for now, I want to break out of this inside candle, right? So we have this fair value gap here, and it's sitting just slightly between that other block, just as we saw on DXY. So it can be a possible move like this, price trade like that, and then we trade up to the key level we are waiting on Euro USD, which is the same with DXY. So this low can become a possible inducement for prices to move higher. I don't know. We can still push a little bit up, take this high, trade lower back, and then we continue higher like that. All right. All now you have to do is to be patient to really see what is going to happen. All right. The fact that we're waiting for price lower here doesn't mean you should start looking for selling at this point. Price can still move from up here, continue to push higher. All right. Also, the close of this particular Monday is gonna give us a lot of information towards what we're gonna be needing for the week. All right. Now, and GU, I would love to see price take this high and even furthermore this one too. So which means that we have previous weekly high to target right here. So price has been protecting previous weekly lows here, taking previous weekly highs, rejecting them as well. And we are still pushing higher, okay? We took previous weekly high, closed above it. If you should go to a no zone, you'll notice how bullish that was. So for now, previous weekly high here is the target, and this high as well as a target. There is a lot of liquidity here that we can see. Let's go to the daily. On the daily chart, price is already reacting up from this other block. This makes even more sense. We're already having a nice reaction from this other block. Which means our previous weekly high is already a target for now. It's already a target for now. And if DXY will want to buy a little, as we mentioned before selling, there can just be a possibility that GU will take this low and then close back above, make it a CRT, and there we go. We'll push it back to the upside. All right. And that will make sense because price will take that low into this other block here, which also has this fair value gap here. That will be very nice, and we'll have something like this back to taking the previous day high and the liquidity above that zone. So I think it will be very good if that happens. So that will be all for GBP USD. We have done as well with Euro USD. Let's look at gold for now. Gold sales are still coming in. Let's look at it on the weekly chart. All right, so gold on the weekly chart, we are heavily bullish. And guys, you know, there is a lot of panic going on with Israel, war, and so on. Remember, when all these uncertainties are happening based on economic events, wars, and all that, it affects gold. It makes gold to be bullish. All right, it makes gold to be safe where people prepare to save their assets. All right, so with a close of previous weekly high, we are still expecting bullishness on gold to take out this high. So we are still bullish on gold. We even had a bullish open today. Price opened with a volume gap closing above that high. So for now, we are still bullish, and we have this fair value gap right here, and kind of aligns with this resistance that was broken, and we have this inducement low plus this other block. So I would love to see price take out this low, maybe tap into if we take out that low, tap into this other block here, maybe slightly into the fair value gap, and then we move back up to take our previous our old high, something like that. All right, this is a good zone. It's also like a resistance resistance becomes a support level. So it's a good point for more buys coming in on gold. So what about Bitcoin? Bitcoin is trading at 107,000. We are still bullish on Bitcoin too. You can see how price closed here on the daily. If you look here, this is our daily chart. And also you notice that the weekly filled its fair value gap, went back and closed within. So this is a weekly CRT here that is happening. And then this is the high of the CRT. And then inside that zone, we also have a daily CRT, which is going back up. So we can be targeting these highs on gold, which is around this is Friday side. No, it's gonna be last week side. We'll be targeting, can even target these highs. Yeah. Probably moving up back to the all-time high, which is going to be the CRT high that we have been looking for. So this is pretty much what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. More bullishness from there, pull back a little to this fair value gap, and continue higher. Let's look at GBP-JPY. GBP-JPY, there was a trade that we took since last time. Price has been playing around for a long time, accumulating. All this while I've not been trading GBP-JPY. All right, price has actually been accumulating, but still, I am actually expecting some sales to come in on it. But with this lots of accumulation here, there's a possibility that we can have price give us a heavy manipulation to the upside. Now, I wouldn't want to say that's only the manipulation there that has happened, and if in case that's it, I want to see a bearish close right here. If price close below this heavy bullish candle, below the opening of that candle, that will give us more that will give us more confirmation that price really wants to move lower, and then we can start looking for shorts from there. All right, that will be my target, and if that will become this weekly CRT, we're going to be trading this weekly CRT here. All right, we'll be trading this weekly CRT to take out the low, and the low of that CRT is right here. So if you have a 4-hour confirmation here, which we already did on this one right here, so we'll be targeting that low, all right, as our CRT low. So which means if we were already selling, you can maintain your stops above that high, and then you have to take profit right down here. All right, it's not bad. It's a good trade. It's a good trade. Let me just quickly share this to the Discord server. I think I'm gonna enter that trade again after this lesson. I'll enter the trade again. So that's it for GBP GPY. All right, but if price closes below this, it gives more confirmation. It's gonna add more confirmation to that particular trade. So let's look at Nasdaq. Let's look at Nasdaq. Let's look at Nasdaq. Okay. So last week I mentioned on the community that I'm looking for Nasdaq to trade to target this particular low right here. Okay, which was like a no week low on the daily time frame. All right, so I'm still expecting price to trade down to that zone even as of today, so we can still have price pull down. So even up to now, price is still bearish. We had a rejection back to this zone, so I'm still looking for more sales. All right, still looking for more sales before we have a final buy back to the upside on Nasdaq. All right, so that's guys, that should be it. I think we've looked at all the assets we're supposed to. If there is any other asset you want me to check, just drop it in the comment section of this video, and I'll do it and I'll send it to our various WhatsApp groups. Also, make sure that you have joined our WhatsApp group, and there's this free training that will be starting in any time from now, which has been sponsored by 10 to 8. So make sure that you join our WhatsApp group where the training will be taking place. All right, so make sure you are in that WhatsApp group. This is going to be one of the best trainings that you ever had, so make sure you are part of it. All right, so that will be all. Let me have your views and opinions about this lesson on the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching right up to this moment. I wish you the best, and good luck in your trading.